We're probably looking at equivalent weight, but I have to admit, David, that when I see Nvidia rising beneath it, I don't think they can. They simply can't stay up with AI. What do you think of the stock's notable recovery over the last, let's say, 4 sessions? All right, so I believe there was a piece in a publication that was released over the weekend. I won't name it, that stated that their main product, Blackwell, would be delayed significantly and that it would cause the hyperscalers and tech giants to regress. As I mentioned the day the article was out, I have not been able to confirm a single word of it. Not one. Many individuals replied, and those who were in favor of it said right away that it wasn't a demand issue. Therefore, you just sell more H100s at a very large margin, even if Blackwell is delayed. But you believe that hit the stock? I do indeed. And it was sort of, look, you guys have been around. You've been around. Sometimes rumors surface and create a stir. And it's really difficult to investigate because it's a quiet time. I have a wonderful relationship with Nvidia, you see. I've been proud of that for a number of years. I take pride in the fact that they refuse to divulge any information to me. Listen, this is a quiet time, they remarked. Well, you know, guys, I just need to verify. Or no, we're in a quiet period, are the next words you say. You eventually come to the realization that they aren't moving since it isn't who they are. When that piece was published, they were a weak, pathetic giant, much like the US under President Nixon at one point. And that's what got it, in my opinion. In the meanwhile, Foxconn's profit beat, up 6, repeated the full-year guide, the need for AI services, and the GB200 remark. Indeed, that is a pretty costly piece, but it looks like development is proceeding as planned, don't you think? It is proceeding as planned. You keep thinking, okay, why did some publication come out and say that everybody's going to be hurt by this being off track? Knowing that you can't refute that story when you see things like that, in my opinion. Since everything I've been told has been, Jim, it's on plan from the last time we said it. Nothing's changed, but we can't talk about it. I can't deny that, which has made it extremely aggravating. Are we now back in Blackwell? Yes, because Blackwell, just to be certain. I simply want to know. Because Blackwell had devised a plan, but they never mentioned that it would ship in large quantities. All of a sudden, you have this straw man. They will ship in large quantities. As it happens, they are running late, and this will hurt Google considerably more than Cramer did. Cramer, Jonathan, from Entrust. Jim, Nvidia is still on the rise. Nvidia will have to be stopped by some shorts. The shorts must give it a shot. They have articles criticizing Nvidia, criticizing Blackwell, and complaining about the poor performance of all their customers. When I return, I remark, well, Meta is the largest buyer. How is the stock of Meta doing? How are AI and Meta doing? Ultimately, Mark Zuckerberg said, you know what? This will be won by me. I will prevail in this. And why do you think that everyone believes that Google is the reason why Amazon must spend? No, in order to stay up with Mark, they must spend money. Offline, they will also tell you that. One feels as though, oh my God, you know what? I must catch up with Mark. They're not just sitting here saying, we need to destroy our bottom lines in a way that is mutually assured. Just this guy mentioned Meta AI in his conference call, and nobody who has been on it since has returned to the rest of it. Get your Nvidia keychain quickly for less than $10. We are offering a huge discount exclusively to the first 100 orders. Since the August lows, Nvidia's stock has increased by more than 15%. Let's talk more about what's happening with Dominic Chu. Good morning. Okay, so that Nvidia trade has been a massive bounce, Carl. And it simply illustrates the mega cap technology, Mag 7 type trade in general. Let's put that in perspective for you. Nvidia's stock has clearly improved significantly year to date. However, as you stated, the recent week's bounce has been a huge leap higher still. Let's now examine the trade from the previous week. Nvidia, up over 16% on a one-week basis. Meta Platforms, up 8.1%, and Tesla, up roughly 5 to 6%, were the top 3 performers in the Mag 7 mega cap move. Your top 3 winners from that Mag 7 trade over a single week. However, since Nvidia is one of the top performers on that big bounce one-week basis, it's a good indicator of a larger trade in semiconductors, Those computer chip stocks. In the past week alone, companies like Supermicro have increased 13.3%, Broadcom has increased 14%, and Micron has up 13%. Additionally, a few of the other ones complete the top semiconductor trades. Look at firms like Lam Research, Applied Materials, K Corporation, and up 12.5%. So David, it sort of gives you an idea of the leading edge of what has been recovering the most, which has been computer chips. Naturally, David, we are aware that some traders like to use that semiconductor transaction as a potential leading indication for the rest of the technology market, and consequently, the larger S&P 500 and NASDAQ. So watch out for chips. I'll return the items. Display Joe, it's up 20% in a week for Nvidia. Will we once again be discussing Nvidia's incredible actions in such a short amount of time? I'm going to offer you a correlation that we looked at over the past 10 years, and it's this. A 10-year range of about 45 basis points is present when there is high bond market volatility, which I believe everyone would agree we've experienced in August. In that setting, where does the market typically move? The sword and the shield is exactly what our friend Tony Pasquariello will tell us. You will discover that the mega caps perform better in those kinds of high volatility situations. Additionally, it's more of a mega cap story than a technical one. Because if it were a technological story, we wouldn't be discussing companies like Twilio, which has seen a 20% decline so far this year, Roku, which has seen a 38% decline, DocuSign, which has seen a 6% decline so far, and Unity Software, which everyone used to like, which has seen a 61% decline so far. It is a feature of mega caps that makes them both a sword and a shield in an atmosphere of high volatility. Tony Pasquariello, thank you. Rob, you're fresh to this party, aren't you? It's Nvidia. Since you recently participated in the pullback that we experienced, I'm interested to see how you've seen this item trade in your head. Scott, you are aware that we purchased half of a position. We said that because we wanted at least some exposure, but we also believed that the name carried some additional danger. We watched it come very close earlier this month, but it fell short of the valuation we were comfortable with, which we were patiently waiting for. We steer clear of businesses in the highest quintile of value, but we also believe that opportunity arises from volatility, so you must be ready to act. Coincidentally, we were able to sell a pricey stock. We ultimately purchased it. With a 78% gross margin, 65% operating margins, massive free cash flow, no debt, and a capex of only 1% of sales, this is one of the best technological firms in the world. We felt compelled to take action, don't we? And we did. We actually bought it on the lows on the program that day, so we're satisfied with a plus 20% move, but who knows, we might have another chance. Finally, with relation to results, Nvidia is approaching quickly. Yes, August 28th. What are your thoughts on mega cap technology at the moment, and how significant? I suppose that's the appropriate word. Do you think that earnings report will be? Nvidia must always be a consequential report in my opinion. I believe that everyone is wondering, is AI all that it's hyped up to be? Given that it has the biggest market capitalization, businesses are adopting AI a bit more slowly. It's a little slower than we anticipated, according to a report released by John Huss of Goldman Sachs. If that story proceeds and generates revenue,